The Premier League season has only just finished, but there are just 6 weeks left until some of Tottenham Hotspur's stars return for pre-season training. Tottenham's first team players all headed off on their holidays soon after the 5-4 victory against Leicester City, which ended their campaign. Mauricio Pochettino and his staff kept on working away at the club's Hotspur Way training complex in Enfield though, and have not yet departed on their summer holidays. With those 6 weeks ahead, what exactly will Pochettino, those first-team players and the development squad be getting up to this summer? Here's what lies ahead this summer for those at Tottenham. Mauricio Pochettino, the Spurs boss, was still working away at Hotspur Way on Monday, more than a week after the Premier League season finished. His time has involved meetings with members of staff including Chairman Daniel Levy, with talks over his future. On Thursday last week, the Argentine was even heavily involved with work going on at the new Players' Lodge at Hotspur Way, talking with workmen about what he wants and asking questions aplenty about various things they're doing at the new site, which is set to be used by Brazil's players ahead of the World Cup. Once Pochettino's time is done in Enfield for the season, he will head off for his summer spent between his home in England and his one in Barcelona. Mauricio Pochettino during pre-season training last summer. While the aim will be to rest and recharge, the Argentine has admitted that he will not be far from the summer's transfer scramble and his phone will be constantly ringing. "I am going to be here and Barcelona is an hour and a half away from London. It is so easy, and today you have FaceTime and Skype," he said earlier this month. In the last 2 summers, Tottenham's pre-season has begun on July 4th in 2016 and July 3rd last year, which marks out Monday, July 2nd as the date various members of the Spurs squad will start to return to Hotspur Way. The early days are likely to be more fitness-based in the gym, with the players' levels being tested. If Pochettino and his trusted trio of coaches, assistant manager Jesus Perez, first-team coach Miguel D'Agostino and goalkeeping coach Tony Jimenez, return on July 2nd, their first day is likely to be spent planning for the weeks ahead. Dele Alli and Eric Dier, the World Cup stars. Tottenham have a large number of players heading to the World Cup. Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Eric Dier, Danny Rose and Kieran Trippier have all been named in England's final squad for Russia. Christian Eriksen will be heading over with Denmark, Heung-min Son with South Korea, Davinson Sanchez with Colombia and Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld and Moussa Dembele with Belgium. Hugo Lloris is France's captain for the competition, while Moussa Sissoko is on the country's standby list should a midfielder get injured in the coming weeks. Many of those players jetted off for a week's rest before meeting up with their respective countries. The likes of Alli and Trippier went off on holiday together before meeting up with Gareth Southgate's England squad on Monday. Kane and Lloris also met up during their exotic trip away before Kane had to head off to his national camp. The Frenchman had an extra day or two to enjoy his break. The Spurs stars' return to pre-season training will be dictated by how far their country goes in the tournament in Russia. Those who exit at the group stage, which ends on June 28, could be expected back in training at Hotspur Way before the club departs for its summer tour of the USA, with the first match on July 25 against Roma in San Diego. Those who advance to the World Cup's knockout stages, which spill into July, are likely miss out on the tour as Pochettino will want them to get the required rest period ahead of another busy season. Lucas Moura, other first-teamers. This will be a big summer for those players who don't head to Russia, including those recovering from injury and working on continuing their path to full fitness. Lucas Moura, Ben Davies, Eric Lamela, Victor Wanyama, Juan Foyth, Harry Winks, Serge Aurier, Michel Verme, Paulo Gazzaniga, Fernando Llorente, Kyle Walker-Peters, Josh Onoma, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Vincent Janssen, George Kevin Nkudu and potentially Sissoko all have a longer summer break ahead of them. Some of them have internationals in the coming weeks, including Davies, Wanyama and Carter Vickers, while Walker Peters has been named in the England U21 squad for the Toulon tournament. After injury-hit seasons, this summer will be an important one for the likes of Wanyama, Lamela and Winks to prepare fully for the 2018-19 campaign. Winks is currently on holiday, but he is booked in for surgery on his troublesome right ankle and is expected to return for pre-season training. He will likely return to Hotspur Way earlier than his teammates to meet with the medical department. For Lucas and Foyth, the duo will be itching to return for pre-season to look to impress Pochettino before the other stars return and further integrate into the manager's philosophy alongside any new signings, while Anoma and Carter Vickers will look to impress if another loan is not agreed before their return, and the same could go for Walker Peters. For Llorente, Jansen and Nick Kudu, the likelihood is that talks will be ongoing all summer over moves away from Spurs, while the future of Verm is also in doubt as his contract comes to an end next month, although the club does have an option to extend it by a year. Tosh and Oakley Booth in training with the first-team development squad players. Some of the youngsters will be involved in international fixtures this summer, including in the next couple of weeks, with midfielders Anthony Georgiou and Jack Rolls names in Cyprus senior and U21 squads respectively. Defender Timothy Ioma will play in the Panda Cup with England's U18s. There will of course be departures from Wayne Burnett's U23 squad, with Keenan Bennett having already been sold to Borussia Mönchengladbach for £2 million and Joe Pritchard having been released. It is also expected that striker Shane Harrison and defender Matthew Locke will be among those moving on this summer, along with Shiloh Tracy, Christian Maghoma, Ryan Loft, Nick Zarula, Luke O'Reilly and Tom Glover. The future of U18 striker Rayo Griffiths is still up in the air. The club have offered the teenager a professional deal, but he has been linked with moves to RB Leipzig and Celtic. Those who stay will look to take the chance to impress Pochettino in those early days in July as they return on the first day and then make up the numbers in pre-season training. With a number of first-team stars missing out on the USA tour, a number of development squad players will also be taken with to take on the likes of Roma, Barcelona and AC Milan across the Atlantic. It was on the summer tour of Australia 2 years ago that Harry Winks impressed Pochettino enough to break into his first-team squad, and young players like Kazea Sterling, Georgiou, Tosh and Oakley Booth and potentially Marcus Edwards, Oliver Skipp and Samuel Shishua will be hoping to earn a spot on the plane. Keep up to date with the latest news, features and exclusive from Football London via the free Football London app for iPhone and Android. Available to download from the App Store and Google Play.